I have a dream, oh, I have a dream. Red, white, and blue, fly free, fly free. I believe, oh, I believe. Will you dream with me?
Good morning, everyone out there. Welcome to Changing Times. It is Wednesday, October 13th. We are live in Springfield, Missouri at the Axe Media Group headquarters. I don't know where you are, but we are sure glad that you're tuned in today. And we're live every Wednesday at 10 a.m. And it's going to rain here in the Springfield area today. And I hope wherever you're at, if you want rain, you'll get some rain too. I think the next 2 or 3 days, we're going to get some pretty good rain. And, you know, one of the things that Don and I always say is, you know, we are so gracious and so blessed to be here on every Wednesday morning. And so we hope that we will be a blessing for you. We have a great show lined up today. And we know that people in all 50 states are watching this show right now and other parts of the world. So one of the things that, Don, we always want people to do our Facebook page and
we want you to go over, if you haven't liked Axe Media Group, AMG, go over and like them so that you can see us go live every Wednesday. And then also, if you want to go back and look at any of the 28 shows that we've done, you're able to go back and watch those on your own time.
Well, that's awesome. And then you're welcome people to email you, right?
Yes, you can email me at mycreativeworkhorse@gmail.com.
And so, you know, if you have a question or comment, go ahead and email Don. My email, Lynn, Lynn Morris, Morris 2012 @gmail.com. And you are sure welcome to email us any comment that you have. Maybe you have a topic that you'd like to hear. We talk mostly about social issues, and we talk about real solutions to those social issues, and we do it in a positive way. I'm kind of an old guy, and I don't like all the negativity that I hear all the time. It's getting worse. It's not better. And every time you turn on the news or you read the newspaper or whatever you do, it's all negative. And I'm telling you, there's still a lot of positive things going on in our country and with God. And so you just got to hang on and find out where those positive things are. So we're going to go ahead. And, oh, by the way, I want to, you know, this is something I don't know how to find all these, but we got people all over the world right now watching in. But, you know, we are live on Facebook. We're live on YouTube. But you can also catch our show later on LinkedIn. You can catch it on Twitter, Daily Motion. That's European style of Facebook version of Facebook, and then Rumble, which I thought that'd be wrestling, but no, that's a social media platform too. So you know, I'm Lynn Morris,
and I'm Don Blackard,
and we're going to get started here. So we've got two great guests today, and we're going to start out with Darren Myers. And Darren, good morning.
Good morning.
Well, I tell you what, we're glad you're here, and you've got you and your wife have an interesting thing that you're doing down in Branson, Missouri. So people listening in today, there's a lot of people listening in that live somewhere near Branson. A lot of people go to Branson during the holidays. Right now, between now and Christmas, there's just beautiful Christmas programs, lots of live entertainment, Silver Dollar City, all the places decorated in prettier, the Christmas lights, decorations more than any place else, I think, in the world, right here in Southwest Missouri. So we welcome you all to come to Branson, Missouri. And so, Darren, tell people, you know, what you're doing in Branson.
Well, we are opening Freedom Encounter. So basically, this is a nonprofit. We're looking at it as an education center. When we're done, it'll have a museum, theater, kids play area, and then bookstore and coffee shop concessions area. So right now, we're in a capital campaign. So we're trying to raise all the funds to make this happen. We'll do this in phases, but we have the old Tony Orlando Theater, which is a mile south of the Titanic there on 76.
That's a Yellow Ribbon.
Yellow Ribbon Theater on 165 down there. So, you know, it's a beautiful theater, seats about 2,000 people. It's 10 acres, and we're just really excited about transforming that into this education center for freedom. So it's kind of our vision is a mix of like an experiential museum where you walk through and there's music and special effects and interaction and all of that to tell the story. It's kind of like walking through a movie, and tell the story of tyranny, faith, and freedom, and use lots of quotes from the founders, lots of history, but still it'll still be very emotional and spiritual. We're going to trace that thread of faith through the whole process, all the way up to our founding documents and beyond, which will be very exciting. So then that's one element. The other element's the theater, which would have shows, that we can change out and offer different things, aimed at children, for everyone. We'll also have some folks coming in and doing Pilgrim's Progress musicals and things like that. So the theater is very exciting as well to help tell this story. And then the kids' play area would be kind of like a science center feel. It would be more of an indoor village based on a colonial theme, and have Benjamin Franklin's workshop and a one-room schoolhouse and a Liberty Tree with a tree house and an eating area for the adults to fellowship while the kids are playing, kind of a thing, and have some live actors and singers out there as well, interacting with the kids and educating them. So I think that those three things, along with the bookstore where you can get your resources, get the curriculums, and whether it's for your church group or homeschool group or just good old American history and quote books and such as that, have that as a resource to really help people who become interested at the Freedom Encounter, then take that material home with them and really dig in and learn it, because that's our only hope. That's our only hope for freedom, is we've got to educate a generation here. And
Amen.
We feel like this is one way to, actually have a place to go and learn this stuff. And especially, I think, families that are trying to educate their own kids and touch on this thing of history. I think it'll give a boost to them and an interest, create an interest in the young people, I think. So
Darren, you're going to teach people about the founding fathers, information about the founding fathers, who they were, what they did, why they did it, and then our founding documents, the founding documents that are still being used today, that are being threatened. They're being threatened today. Right. We got people in leadership today, unfortunately, think that the Constitution and the Bill of Rights, and we're going to be talking to Mr. Keithley, Ed Keithley, about a pastor, about the Bill of Rights rally that they're going to do. And they say that they're outdated. Are you kidding me? Right. They're not outdated. And so it gets me. One of the things that Don and I are going to do, we're going to be able to do this. We know, because we've been around a long time, certainly me, I've been around a lot longer than Don has, but she knows, she has a lot of people too. We're going to get a lot of homeschool. There's a lot of co-ops. I don't know whether you've marketed to the co-ops yet or not, but there's a lot of homeschool parents, and there's more and more people homeschooling every year. And that's because, unfortunately, in many ways, some of the public schools are beginning to fail. Our families fail our kids. And so the parents are taking their education back, and they're going to teach their kids what they think they need to learn. And in many, many cases, the homeschool kids score much higher on all kinds of tests and things like that than the public education. And we know public education is the backbone of our country. Yeah. It used to be, and we want it to continue to be that way. So we're going to get a bunch of names and phone numbers, and I'm going to send that to you, email that to you, where you'll know how to contact those people. Good. Because I suspect that could be a field trip, that you could take a bunch of kids down there. Moms do that, dads do that, and you're going to get a lot of extra people that way. And I think that's going to be beneficial. So what on earth, why did you decide to do this?
Well, I don't know if I decided it. I just, try to follow the Lord every day.
So God told you to do it.
Yeah. So this has been a long journey for us. I was music and youth pastor for probably 18 years and then pastored for 13 years in Rolla, Missouri. And the last 7 years, we've been out on the road just teaching these principles. And I don't know, the Lord just put it on our heart. Back when I was pastoring, we wanted to, we took 1 year and had a theme for our church, and it was America, We Still Believe. And our goal was to take as many quotes from the founders and connect those with our people as we could. So, we had posters around the building. We had on our bulletins, we'd have the quotes. We took 5 minutes in Sunday school every week that year and introduced one of the founders. Here's what he did, and then here's what he said. And so, that whole year was really inspiring because we have a rich history of Christian patriots, that it's just inspiring. And so our church had a great time with that. But, then I got to thinking, well, how many folks walking down the street have any clue of this? Right. And so we're, just thinking about how could we make a difference. And so we decided to have a Patriot rally down at the park, and it would just, our church would do it as a gift to the community. And, it's Rolla, it's a university town. I didn't know if it would be accepted very well or not. And so our goal was to get as many quotes to the average person as we could. So how do you do that? Well, we had a little museum set up. We had a one-room schoolhouse set up and some reenactors, helping the kids. We had quotes, posters everywhere. We printed up a booklet to give to everybody that came that had the quotes in it. We had a program. Well, we fed everyone a big picnic meal, and then we had a program when it got dark with outdoor video screens, and did a presentation with music, quotes, videos, live, groups, children's choir, adult choir, and then finished out with fireworks.
Wow.
But our whole goal was just, let's educate.
Right.
And people just loved it. You just don't see that kind of thing, I guess. And hear those, folks want to believe in something that's noble and right and true. And they know that instinctively that something good happened in our country years ago to get us to this point. And they just want to, it's good to hear about it. It's good to rehearse that and remember that. And so, we did that for 7 years, once a year. And our big year, we had 5,000 people at the park.
Wow.
So it taught me a few things. It taught me that there's still a lot of God-fearing patriots out there. If you would just, if someone will take a stand, raise their voice, they'll be happy to jump in and help, But a lot of folks don't know what to do.
Right.
So anyway, we learned a lot of lessons through those rallies. Well, that kind of led us into this evangelism where we're just going around trying to teach this and help other churches do conferences or rallies. And then I ended up inadvertently moving to Branson. My parents had moved to Branson and my kids lived in Springfield. So we just kind of wanted to be close to them. Mm-hmm. And of course, then we're passing all the theaters and all of that. And just that idea is still brewing, maybe we could do a show. Maybe we could take that same content and put it into a show. So that's what we did 4 years ago and called it the Freedom Journey Show. And did it at a little theater that would seat 110 people if you set out chairs. And we scheduled 5 shows, and all 5 of them had 110 people. Wow. Which we didn't cut any, we weren't cutting people off.
God's growing your program just like a mustard seed.
I think
He is. I mean,
well, you look
about
back on it.
110 people. Now you could seat 2,000 people.
Yeah.
You're going to get there. You're going to get there.
Yeah, I don't understand it. So you ask why we're doing it or how we got to this, we're just trying to wake up every day and say, Lord, what are we supposed to do today? And
you're going to inspire people. People are listening to this and watching this today. You're going to inspire people. Don always says, be the change, be the change. You are being the change. You and your wife are being the change. I always say, be the difference maker. You said that a while ago. You're making the difference, and that you are the difference maker. And we're going to talk to another difference maker here in a few moments. And so this is what we're looking for. I want people to know. So, you're doing this in Branson, Missouri, but somebody could do this in Oklahoma. They could do it in Texas. They could do it in Iowa, Illinois. They could do it anywhere. Yeah. And one of the things, let me ask all of you guys. So last night, Jan and I were having dinner with another couple, and we were talking about our country really needs a revival. We need a fire on fire revival. And do you guys believe that?
Yes,
absolutely.
That we need, and I think that may be the only thing that we can do to help take our country back. And you guys are doing these things, and I think we can do that to take our country back and at least postpone and delay what people are trying to do to destroy our country, to bring socialism into our country. And it's from within. We are being attacked from within more so than from outside. No one's ever going to destroy our country from the outside. No one has the military might that we have, but they are slowly doing it. Do you guys all remember the story? Because I taught my kids. I'm a science major, pharmacist, and so I've done a lot of college with science courses. And you guys all remember about when we were probably in school too, that they took that experiment with a frog, and they had frog in boiling water. It was boiling water, and they threw that frog in, and that frog jumped immediately out and didn't even hurt that frog. That frog was out as soon as it touched the water. It was out. And you looked at the frog and it was okay. And then if you took another pot of water and it wasn't hot at all, and you put the frog in there, he would just sit in there because he's in the water. He's in his element. Okay. And then you just slowly turn that water hotter and hotter. And at some point, that frog could actually boil to death because he's never going to jump out. And that's the way I want people to think of that's watching our show, that this is such a slow process over the last 100 years to take our country away from us. And we got to wake up at some point, and Christians have to take a stand. Yes. We have to take a stand. We have to be bold and brave. Don says that all the time. You've got to be bold and brave. You guys are doing that. You're doing being the change. You're being a difference maker. So you've got a big screen that they're going to see inside there.
Yeah. So right now it's a theater, and then as we raise the funds, we'll add the museum part and the kids play area. So we'll do the theater, the bookstore, the coffee shop, and hopefully by next March have that open on a daily basis. So
have you got singers?
Yes, right. So
I'm a pretty good singer. I don't know, but I'm awful busy. I'm awful busy, so I don't know really.
Now, where can people go to get these tickets? Where can they find out more information? Do you have a website?
Yeah. So freedomjourneyshow.com is the website. And that's for the show itself. Okay. So November 5 through December 11, we're going to do 9 shows in there. And we're really just encouraging, the show is kind of a microcosm of the museum, what it will be. So we've got 9 rooms in the museum that we'll build, but the show has 9 sections. And,
wow, okay.
And we did that on purpose so people could start to get the vision of what the bigger idea is. So anyway, we start off with the individual, and then we move to the tyrant, and then we move to the desire for freedom, the pilgrims, the founding, the blessings of freedom, the enemies of freedom, socialism, etc., the cost of freedom, a tribute to all those that have paid the price, and then the future of freedom. What are we going to do? And so that's the overview of the show. That's also an overview of the walkthrough. But the show, we're able to do, so it starts November 5 there in Branson. There's always a big veterans celebration for the week, November 5 through 11. So we'll do 4 of the shows that week. And then we'll do 5 more after that.
And you told Don there was special pricing on those first 4 shows.
Right. Veterans and or military, active military, first responders, law enforcement, their ticket is free.
That's
for
awesome.
those.
Thank you very much.
Yes. We're glad to do it, and we just want to honor those individuals. And, we've done this the last 4 years, and the veterans really appreciate the show because there's some content to it,
Right.
It's fun, and we're going to have a section where we highlight America's favorite songs, starting with Yankee Doodle. So that section's going to be a lot of fun, and there's light moments, but then there's also this underlying message all the way through. And of course, when you couple that message with music, it's just powerful. And so we've got some great young people that'll be singing, very talented young people. And it'll be a combination of videos, music, live music, and quotes. We'll have a lot of the quotes throughout, just telling the story. We'll take some time to pay a special tribute to veterans and law enforcement, but also, there was something else.
Darren,
I was going to say immigrants. So
Okay.
we've got three immigrants that have given their testimony on video. And so that they came from tyranny. They appreciate America. And so that's woven throughout the whole show too. It's very emotional. I'll say that.
Well, I love seeing how God is working, through your past of music and youth and, experience of what he did in that first, to see that you're going to get a harvest out of this. The Lord is. And, there's so much in this world that we can't control. We were talking about that we can't do, but we can get behind you and come and bring our kids and, have them experience this. There's still a lot we can do.
Exactly.
I bet you're going to take Riker.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Well, I refer to 1 Timothy a lot. 2 Timothy, Paul's trying to encourage this young preacher not to give up, right? And to hang in there. So he says stuff like, God's not giving us a spirit of fear, but of power and of love and a sound mind. And, all that live godly are going to suffer persecution, but run your race, stay in there to the end, endure hardship as a good soldier, So he's trying to, Paul's going to end up losing his life at the hand of government. But he's trying to encourage the young people, don't give up.
Right.
That's a hard sell.
Right.
But what he told him was a lot of things really, but one of them was pray.
Right.
I would that men pray everywhere.
Right.
With, lifting up holy hands, praying, and pray especially for kings and all that are in authority, that we might live a quiet and peaceable life in all godliness. So that's one thing we can do.
Sure.
And the other thing is teach.
Mm-hmm.
He just went on and on about the truth and teaching the truth, and the servant of God must not strive with people, fight with people, but educate them, teach them. That's the only hope. And then he actually talks about, freedom is through the truth, and that God would have all men everywhere to hear the truth. So that's what we can stay busy doing. No matter how bad it gets, we've got a full-time job just trying to educate everybody around us.
Sure. Well, I tell you what, that you are doing a great thing. I'm telling you, and you're exactly right. The power of prayer. That's what we had our show last Wednesday on, was the power of prayer. We had the prayer fest up in the Capitol, and things going on up there, and so it's just awesome. So I'm going to turn over to Ed Keithley. So how are you doing this morning?
I'm doing well, sir.
Well, thank you for being here. Now, you are pastor of Ozark Baptist Church.
Yes, sir.
I think you said the last 7 years?
Yes, about 7.5 years.
7.5 years. So thank you for being here today. And you intrigue me because you're doing exactly what I want churches to do. I want them to preach the Bible, preach about God and the importance of accepting Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior. But I also want churches to alert, ring the bell, blow the horn. You've got to let people know what's going on today. If we don't know what's going on today, we will probably lose our churches, and we may not have a way to worship. I mean, during COVID, they told churches to shut down. I think that's illegal.
I do too.
They also said businesses, if you're non-essential, you shut down, and all those kind of things. I think 10 years from now in courts, they'll decide that that was illegal.
And just to interject, Lynn, what always blew me away is that the liquor stores were considered essential, but the churches weren't.
Oh, yeah. So that's the world we're living in today. So your church, what are they doing this week?
Well, we are having what we call a Bill of Rights rally. We've never done anything like this before, but we just felt like it was timely, and just to kind of draw attention to the fact that just some of our fundamental freedoms are under fire. And I I agree with the statement, the illustration you gave recently about the frog, but that these things have been brought in incrementally. But at the same time, I see here in like the past 2 years, 5 years, that the accelerator has been pushed to the floor, and more things are trying to be pushed off on us that are a threat to our freedom.
Well, it's kind of like the snowball. We've used that analogy before too, where you have a little snowball and you just made it, and then you push it down the hill, and it gets bigger and it goes faster. So when it gets down to the bottom of the hill, it's a great big old snowball, and it crashes into something. That's kind of the way our society is going right now. You're right. Yeah. It's going much faster. So your church is going to have a program on Friday and Saturday.
Yes, sir.
This week. So if you live anywhere around Southwest Missouri, the Ozark, Nix, Springfield area, you need to go to this. And so your address is?
We're at 1530 North 18th Street.
1530 North 18th Street. And I'm telling you, it starts at what time?
7 p.m. each night.
7 p.m. And you've got some great program speakers. I saw that Senator Mike Moon, I served with Mike Moon, Hannah Kelly, State Representative Hannah Kelly, I served with her. And let's see, you've got Brad Cole. I had breakfast with the sheriff yesterday in Christian County. And who else is going to be there? Well, Darren Meyer's going to be there.
Darren Meyer's going to speak for us on Saturday evening.
Well, he can do a good job, I bet you.
And we also have a pastor from Norwood, Missouri, Hannah Kelly's father.
Oh, okay.
Reg Kelly will be speaking for us. And then we have the commanding officer of the Missouri State Militia, Randy Sumter, is going to come, and I think he's going to address preparedness in the event that things really get bad in our country, that people need to be forward thinking and being prepared about survival mode, perhaps.
Right. Well, I don't think that's far-fetched. I think that we need to be thinking about that too. If you need another minister, Mr. Blacker, Don's dad, I'm sure could do a great job on that type of stuff too, the Bill of Rights. So people that don't know, the Bill of Rights is what? The first 10 amendments of the Constitution, the U.S. Constitution, the first 10 amendments are the Bill of Rights. And those are our basic rights. Mm-hmm. And a lot of those are now what we all consider being challenged and threatened. Mm-hmm. Okay. And so, and a lot of people, honestly, if you ask grade school, elementary kid, junior high, high school, even college students, even adults, you ask them what's in the Bill of Rights today, they don't know. They can't really answer that question. And I think that's really sad. So I'm challenging everybody, we've got an organization, a friend of ours that was on our show that provides thousands and thousands of constitutions, U.S. Constitutions, Bill of Rights pamphlets, and we would love to send those to you. Make sure that you get them somehow, and because everybody needs to know the basics of what the Constitution said, mm-hmm. and the basics of the Bill of Rights and everything. Because if you don't know what it says, then how do you know how to defend it, and how do you know what's going on in this country today? Mm-hmm. So I think that's important. So you're going to do it both Friday and Saturday.
Yes, sir.
And then how much space do you have for people to?
Well, we our building seats 100.
Okay.
So seating is going to be limited. We have a second building that we're going to have audio in at least.
Okay.
For overflow. So I've been amazed at the response we're getting and feedback we're getting already. And I'm afraid we may overflow our building.
Well, Don and I are going to pray. We're going to pray that you have an overflow crowd, and you're going to have to deal with it. That's going to be your problem. Okay. Yeah, so God's going to help you figure out how to take care of it. Yeah. But that's what I want. I want people to get ignited, get started doing something to save our country. It's worth saving. And
Amen.
for all the veterans, I'll go with what Darren said, November 5th kicks off Veterans Week down in Branson. There's no place else in the state of Missouri or any place around Missouri that has better facilities and loves the veterans more than Branson, Missouri. Yeah. I mean, if you're a veteran and you live in another state, if you've never been to Branson, Missouri and seen what hospitality is for the veterans and how you're honored as a veteran, you just got to come, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, it's awesome. Yeah. It's absolutely awesome. And it will make those veterans feel so good. So you need to come to Branson, need to come to your show, need to come to your church and things like that. I'm so proud that you're doing that, Mr. Keithley. So, I mean, I'm honestly, I just, and see, you're just a little church.
Yes, sir.
That could inspire a lot more churches to do this too.
Well, that's what I'm hoping our show, just because we're doing it in Springfield, Missouri, or Ozark, Missouri, or Branson, Missouri, somebody out there can emulate this. You can copy this. You can call these guys and you can contact these people. You can contact us and we'll get you in contact with them. And you can find out how to replicate this same thing in your state, in your little town, in your little church. You can do that. And it's just, honestly, it's just awesome. It's just awesome. So I know you were out, when I called you yesterday before I went out to eat, you were saying that you were out handing out pamphlets.
Yes, sir.
So he's going door to door like I go to door when I'm campaigning. Mm-hmm. So you're campaigning for Lord and the Bill of Rights.
Yes, sir.
So
I've got a question for you, pastors. Do you feel that, freedom and Christianity go hand in hand?
Oh, absolutely. I think so. And some of the things that I see taking place in our country, I see not only as an attack upon our freedoms, but it's almost pinpointed toward Christianity and conservative thinking. And I think that if one goes down, we're going to lose both.
Yeah, well, I really admire you as a pastor stepping up and, putting this information out there. And we're such a good community. We really, rally together as a community, and we need a church like you doing what you're doing.
Well, we appreciate that. And we were surprised when we began to think about doing this. I thought, well, we're a small congregation, and I'm not sure that we'll be able to attract some folks that would be very influential speakers. And I initially contacted Mike Moon because I've been following some of his posts, and I liked his stand and his conservative voice, very, very vocal on important issues. And I contacted him, and he got back with me right away and said, "Oh, sure, I'd love to get involved with that." And so then we did, just to go from there and get some other folks involved as well. So,
well, that's awesome. I'll tell you what, I enjoyed serving with Representative Mike Moon, now Senator, and now he's running for U.S. Congress.
Yes.
No, is it? Yeah, he is. And so he and Senator Eric Burleson's running for Congress, and in fact, there's my neighbor 3 doors down from where I live, Jay Wasson, is running. So we got all these people running for positions, and either whether it be U.S. Senator or U.S. Congress and stuff like that. So it's awesome to see all these good people running for an office. Unfortunately, only one's going to win. So you got a lot of very good people doing that. So this is, you guys, I know that you're going to be busy. You're going to have a good turnout. And I know that 2 months between November and December, you're going to do well, and you're going to do well. And with this event and the Bill of Rights rally, October 15th and 16th at Ozark Baptist Church at 1530 North 18th Street. Yes, so tell people exactly, that's off of, what's the main road that's off of?
Well, if you come to on 65 highway, the Jackson Street exit.
Okay.
And then turn east at the first stoplight. That's 18th Street. You turn back north and just come up the hill. You'll see the Chevrolet dealership. We're just up the hill from the Chevy dealership.
Okay.
And that's 7 o'clock.
7 o'clock. Yeah.
Yes.
I'm going to try to be there I'll try to be there on Friday. I think Don's going to try to be there on Friday. We'll try to share that on our Facebook. And then this show here, once, the people that's watching this, if you've never watched our show, we appreciate you tuning in today. If you miss our show, tell your friends, that missed the show, tell them about it. They can come back and watch this show today, anytime this afternoon. From noon on, this show is in the library of Acts Media Group. And so just go to Acts Media Group's Facebook page and you can find this show. You can find all our shows. Just like Don said at the beginning, you can find any show that we've done. And so all 28 of the shows, you can see those. And we have pastors. I know Jose Ballou, a commissioner with me down in Christian County. He's a pastor, and he goes back and watches 2 or 3 shows at a time. And so you can do that. And so a lot of people are going to see this show, not just today, but from now on. It's just amazing the number have grown since, and we know this is a God thing because our numbers have grown just exponentially since our very first show when we did human trafficking with the Highway Patrol. And so we have really interesting subjects. And, again, today, you guys are proving the point. Our show is only as good as the topic we choose and the people that we invite to be our guests, because you guys were able to share this vision that God gave you and you're living it out to help other people. That's why I believe you're going to be successful, and you are successful because of that. And so,
Yep. And God's going to show it in the fruit.
Yeah. I really think so.
We have just a couple of minutes left, but Darren, do you have anything you want to say? And then Pastor, any closing remarks? So Darren, we'll start with you.
Yeah, I was just going to clarify the websites. So we've got freedomjourneyshow.com.
Okay.
That is for tickets to the events November 5 through December 11, the theater part.
Okay.
freedomjourneyshow.com. The museum is freedomencounter.com. So Freedom Encounter is a nonprofit. We're trying to raise the funds to get this done. If anyone is interested in getting this message to this generation, this is one way you can get involved and help us get this done. We have, if you go to that website, freedomencounter.com, you can sign up for emails just to stay informed, but you can also donate a one-time gift, or you could, sign up for a monthly gift, an annual gift. We have naming opportunities and larger gifts in mind also that we would love to talk with folks about to get this done. It's going to take all of us. This is our generation. This is our time.
Right.
And I certainly can't do this by myself. We're pulling together patriots that want to concentrate on a quality place and invite the public to come on a daily basis and learn this and be inspired.
Well, I hope that somebody's out there listen, heard that, and they've got the resources to help this organization, nonprofit, and promote that. So, yeah.
Okay, Pastor Keithley, you got anything?
Well, we just would encourage folks to come out if at all possible, Friday and Saturday evening, 7 p.m. each night. We're going to have 3 speakers each night. We'll probably have a break between our second and third speaker. And if you'd like more information, you can, I believe the contact, my email and phone number will be there with the program. And we just encourage you to come and participate, and let's be a voice to say that America's worth saving.
And again, that's Ozark Baptist Church at 1530 North 18th Street.
Yes.
This Friday and Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to know more about the church or find the location, a map, you can go to our website, which is ozarkbc.com.
Good, great, good. Well, thank you both for being here today. I tell you what, I think God is in this project. I think you guys are going to continue to do well, and we'll try to spread the word too. So we really appreciate that. So Don, I think Matt, how much time do we have left?
45 seconds.
45 seconds. Well, we're going to Don and I are going to strategize what we're going to do for next week. We have options, and we have people lined up even in November, but we have an option for next week, and we do want to do something for our friend D. Wampler. So we'll be back next Wednesday, 10 a.m. Have a great week.
Be the change.
Be the change and be the difference maker.
That's what it means to really dream. 1, 2, 3. Can I get a hoorah from a patriot like me? Can I get an amen?